Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. Let's start with the top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz met at Hyderabad House in India's capital, New Delhi. The leaders co-chaired the 7th Intergovernmental Consultations. The IGC framework was launched in 2011. The framework allows for a comprehensive review of cooperation and identification of new areas of engagement between the two countries across various sectors. Addressing the meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that in the past 2 years, both nations have witnessed encouraging progress in various sectors of our strategic relations. The Prime Minister also welcomed Chancellor Scholz to his residence in New Delhi. In a post on X, the Prime Minister expressed his happiness over the meeting, saying that the discussions held on a diverse range of issues will add momentum to the India-Germany friendship. Both leaders also addressed the 18th Asia-Pacific Conference of German Business in New Delhi on Friday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Asia-Pacific Conference has played an important role in strengthening relations between the EU and the Asia-Pacific region. PM Modi also highlighted India's strong pillars of democracy, demography, demand and data, making it an attractive investment destination for German businesses. The event witnessed participation of nearly 650 top CEOs and business leaders. PM Modi said India has the double power of AI, that is Aspirational India, and artificial intelligence. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz emphasized on having more cooperation with India and the need for a free trade agreement between India and the EU. Scholz said his country is working with full force to make a new policy to allow the skilled workforce of India to work in Germany. Olaf Scholz said we should not create challenges in each other's territory and should follow international rules. German Chancellor stressed that China should give up the special treatment it receives as a developing country. Speaking at the Asia-Pacific Conference of German Business, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that India is that country where reforms, resilience and readiness for the future is available for the world. PM Modi and Germany's Olaf Scholz witnessed the exchange of MOUs between India and Germany. MOU on the roadmap on innovation and technology and a joint declaration intent in the field of employment and labour were exchanged. After the exchange of agreements between the ministers of India and Germany, PM highlighted that there is a need to resolve the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. PM Modi said that both nations are working together to eliminate terrorism. At the press briefing, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said India is the most important trading partner for the European Union. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri during a press conference said that the leaders discussed various issues including Russia, Ukraine as well as West Asia. He further added that Scholz's visit has come at a time when there is unanimous agreement within German polity to further strengthen relations with India. India's Reserve Bank of India said that the country's forex reserves dropped USD 2.16 billion to USD 688.26 billion for the week ended October 18. At close, the Sensex declined 662.87 points to settle at 79,402.29. Nifty fell 218.6 points to close at 28,180.8. Gold futures maturing on December 5 stood at Rs 78,036 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity index. Silver futures maturing on December 5 stood at Rs 96,104 per kg on the MCX. Indian rupee remained unchanged to close at 84.07 against the US dollar. Several strikes hit the southern suburbs of Beirut early on Friday as large explosions among buildings and thick smoke were seen rising in the sky. A video released by the Israeli army showed strikes on Hezbollah commander and destruction of infrastructure in Lebanon. As the efforts are underway to hold fresh talks over a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza, the United States said it does not want a protracted Israeli campaign in Lebanon. During a bilateral meeting with Jordanian Foreign Minister in London, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said there was a real sense of urgency to reach a diplomatic resolution in Lebanon. Speaking at the BRICS summit in Russia's Kazan, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for peace in Gaza and Lebanon, urging for an immediate ceasefire and the release of hostages. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke about the military assistance from North Korea, saying it will be decided by both countries when the time comes. The Russian president also referred to the mutual defense pact signed between the two countries during his visit to Pyongyang in June and the Article 4 of the pact. Over 30 million voters have already cast their ballots. Both presidential candidates pace up their campaign with just 11 days until November 5 elections. Former President Donald Trump took a dig at Joe Biden, saying it was stupid of the Democratic president to say Trump should be locked up. Trump also criticized the US President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris on the issues of immigrants and violent crime. Kamala Harris held a star-studded rally on Thursday in battleground state Georgia with former US President Barack Obama and rock legend Bruce Springsteen. Harris emphasized her middle-class roots, asking people to vote for her. On Friday, she will appear with Beyoncé in Houston. Harris is slated to appear with Michelle Obama on Saturday in Michigan, one of 7 swing states expected to decide the winner. Former President Barack Obama said Trump was acting like a doddering old man and noted that Harris had actually worked at McDonald's earlier in her life. Supporting the Democrats, Springsteen said Trump may misuse presidential power if re-elected. Turkey's defense ministry said that it carried out airstrikes against Kurdish militants in northern Iraq overnight, hitting dozens of targets for the second night in a row. The operation followed a security meeting that President Tayyip Erdogan chaired with key ministers and the armed forces in Istanbul. Taiwan's military conducted night fire drills on the Penghu Island on Thursday as part of the annual Changqiang exercise. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te laid wreath at Kingman Islands in a ceremony to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Guningtou. Ching-te reiterated its stand to maintain peace and stability and defend Taiwan's sovereignty, saying the island will not cede an inch of its territory. 6 people stand trial in Vietnam over a huge fire that tore through a karaoke bar 2 years ago, killing 32 people. All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Cyclone Dana made its landfall in the coastal India states of Odisha and West Bengal on Thursday night. Heavy rains and gusts of 100 kilometers an hour to 110 were witnessed in different areas, uprooting trees and power lines in its route. Considering the severity of the cyclone, train and flight operations in Odisha and West Bengal remain suspended, with selective trains and flights resuming operation on Friday. Airport authorities at Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport in Kolkata have blocked the glass doors at the entrance with sandbags to prevent any damage. Cyclone Dana is likely to move nearly northwestwards across North Odisha and weaken gradually into a depression during next 12 hours. According to India Met Department forecast, both Odisha and West Bengal governments remain on high alert. In Philippines, tropical storm Trami killed at least 40 people. Tens of thousands remain displaced after fleeing floods driven by a torrential downpour that dumped 2 months' worth of rainfall in just 2 days in some areas. Storm Trami dumped heavy to torrential rain on the main island of Luzon, triggering widespread flooding and landslides. A dust tornado-like storm was caught on camera near a road in Sharjah in United Arab Emirates. In one eyewitness video, bolts of lightning could also be seen striking the ground. Chestnut harvest in Greece is expected to drop to 15,000 tons in 2024 because of the extreme weather, half the 10-year average, according to George Nanos, a professor of arboriculture at the University of Thessaly. Britain's King Charles officially opened the new King's Garden in Samoa to commemorate his visit to the Pacific island nation. The garden was opened in the grounds of the Robert Louis Stevenson Museum in Apia, where the King also planted a native tree. London's tube map is being celebrated in a new exhibition that traces the evolution of its much-loved design that has inspired transport network guides around the world. Displayed at London underground stations and trains and on passenger leaflets, the tube map has remained a popular way to plan journeys around the capital even in the age of smartphones. A small home in an ancient Roman city of Pompeii, filled with untouched frescoes of mythological scenes, has been uncovered by archaeologists after being buried under volcanic rubble for 2,000 years. The dwelling, called the House of Phaedra, after the mythological queen of Athens who featured in one of its wall paintings, sheds light on new architectural styles in the 1st century AD. In Vietnam, the wearing of ao dai, traditional long dress costume and tailoring craft of the dress has been recognized as a national intangible heritage by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism. Hue, the imperial capital in Vietnam for over 100 years, offers a unique tourism service. It said that traditional long dress fashion aims to promote the beauty and value of Hue 300 years ago. The final stage of the competition among embroiderers, organized by the Central Council of the Union of Women of Turkmenistan, was held in the Center of Public Organizations of Turkmenistan. The competition, called Turkmen Embroidery Art National Heritage, drew attention to the unique art which was included in UNESCO Intangible Heritage List. The Czech Flying Bulls aerobatics team made aviation history at the start of the month, performing a world first inverted group loop through Mala Rijeka Bridge, Europe's highest railway bridge. The 4-team squad flew in diamond formation, executing an inverted group loop by flying upside down through the steep canyon beneath the structure. Party animals put on their best costumes for the Fantasy Fest Pet Masquerade in Key West, Florida. The 4-legged contestants dressed up in a variety of costumes including Elton John and a Baywatch lifeguard. Families also joined their pooches on stage for the fur-filled event. The first dinosaur fossils found in Hong Kong, likely from a large dinosaur, were put on display after they were found on a small uninhabited outlying island. At the Heritage Discovery Centre inside Hong Kong's Kowloon Park, eager fans gathered to catch a glimpse of the fossils. British singer-songwriter Boy George explores celebrities' relationship with stardom in a new art collection. Boy George has said his new art collection's fame and the originals are about joy, humour and celebrating otherness. British actor Hugh Grant turned out for the AFI Film Festival premiere of the film alongside his co-stars Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East. The horror film Heretic will be released in the United States on November 8th. Women in Film held their annual gala to celebrate the female talent in the industry who have helped bring change to gender parity on film sets. British actor Kate Winslet reworked the film and hired women in key roles, including director Alan Kubras, to add a female touch to the story of model-turned-prolific war photographer Lee Miller. Actor Samuel L. Jackson was honoured at Chanel's MoMA film benefit event in New York. The 16th annual event brought together stars such as Spike Lee, Denzel Washington and Natasha Lyonne to celebrate Jackson. Out for the London premiere of his new film Small Things Like These, Oscar-winning Irish actor Cillian Murphy said he always has a laugh making movies despite the subject matter. Small Things Like These to be released in UK and Ireland on 1st November and in the United States on 8th November. African cinema is taking centre stage at Film Africa Festival in the midst of Black History Month in London. Over the course of 10 days, filmmakers and emerging talent from over 20 African countries will showcase their talents with screenings taking place across London. Oscar award-winning actor Joaquin Phoenix, best known for his role in Joker, turns 50 on Monday. British actor and comedian John Cleese turns 85 on Sunday. Actor-turned-writer John Cleese launched his autobiography So Anyway in London in October. New Zealand dominate India in their second test as captain Tom Latham helped visitors lead go beyond 300 at the end of day 2. Indian cricketer Yashasvi Jaiswal has joined England Joe Root in the list of batters to have scored 1,000 runs in Test cricket in 2024. India's women's team overcame New Zealand to secure a 59-run victory in the first ODI on Thursday. The second ODI match will take place on Sunday. David Warner's lifetime leadership ban has been overturned following a review by Cricket Australia's Conduct Commission. Former India women's hockey skipper Rani Rampal announced her retirement. Padma Shri awardee Indrani puts an end to 16-year-long career in hockey. Indian Grandmaster Arjun Erikese created history by becoming the second Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to surpass coveted 2800 ELO rating mark. British number 1 KT Boulter beat former US Open champion Bianca Andreescu to reach the semi-finals of the Pan Pacific Open. The match between India and New Zealand ended in a 3-3 draw at the Sultan of Johor Cup 2024 in Malaysia. Currently, India leads the point table and final will be played on Saturday. Fenerbahce coach Jose Mourinho was sent off as the side drew 1-1 with his former club Manchester United in the Europa League on Thursday. Roberto Mancini has left his role as coach of Saudi Arabia after his contract was ended by mutual agreement. Alright, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.